Hello and welcome to the sixth episode of my Devblog from Wisp. Today I want to talk about what obstacles I added this week, about some game design ideas later on. Yeah, that's basically it. So first things first, what did I work on last week? Last week I worked on two new obstacles and some other stuff, but the two new obstacles I worked on, I added some sound effects there. This week I also added some last week I had some ideas about how I'm going to do some certain. Wait, I will just show this quickly. How I will convey to the player that this particle system is going up when pressing A, and so the sound effects that I had there were really helpful in that regard because it's a really instant feedback. And what I also did is, if I zoom in a little bit more, you see that now the particle effect itself has an arrow up and the A button. Last week I only had the A button, and I think this is a good way to show the player what is actually going on. Obviously, you have to explain it at some point first, but yeah. So what I also did work on this week is input blocking. So what I mean by that is if you fly inside this circle here, basically the A and the B button will be blocked, and B is dashing and A is the normal flying around I do. So basically you cannot you cannot use it anymore. Cannot use it like this. So I think it's a really good way to force the player to do some new stuff, and maybe I can show this off. I hope this will work now, because I already tried this and I have some problems currently with Unity. But I think it should be fine now. Yes, it is. So as you see here, by the way, this the art in this, I'm not quite happy right now, but anyway, so what this means, if I go in there, like I cannot move around with A as I'm doing right here, right now, and I cannot do, I cannot do this dashing here. So the problem is that I need to get through here, so basically the way to do it is to speed up a little bit, not like this. I'm dying. Okay, anyway, so as you see, by the way, the time warp, I can use it to have multiple tries at the same obstacle if it's a little bit harder like this one. I think that's a really neat way to prevent you from dying, and I think it's a good mechanic right now. I'm pretty happy with it, so I will try to get through this obstacle, which is not the easiest one right now. I'm not sure if I can leave it like this. This is just for testing currently, so yes. Ah, crap. I should have actually dashed up there in the end, so what I'm usually doing is this, yeah. Sorry. Sorry guys, I'm not that good at this game right now, or the obstacle is too hard. This was not the right angle. This is dying again. Yeah. As you can see, the game is not the easiest. This is not working. Ah, come on, what's going on? When I tested this before, it obviously worked way easier for me, but yes. That's actually... maybe this obstacle is too hard, I don't know. I don't want to bore you guys, so, but I wanted to show this. Yeah, okay, so I'm through here. So, as you can see and hear now also, when I press this, I get an electrical sound, and it's going up. I think this should be clear enough. I think for the final game what I would do is still show one tutorial explaining it one time, and then the rest should be pretty clear. So I will go through this obstacle quickly, wait. Oh, that was also close. So the next one, it is also input blocking, but this one only blocks the A button. And the way to get through here is a little bit different. Like, what I, by the way, like about these obstacles as well is that you have some... like, you have very different ways. It's almost like a puzzle, I don't know. You have very different ways to move through there, so... I don't know, I think it's quite fun, and it's also not the easiest one. So let's see if I can get through this here. Here I basically have to do... oh, that was not good. Okay, back again. I didn't have enough I can go here. Then I break, and now I will dash to the top. But I think you get the idea. Like, you break down there, and once you're down there, you dash to the top and then not die like me right now. So these are the two obstacles I added. These are both the same principle. I just wanted to see what I can do with the entire mechanic for the game, if it's interesting or not. And I'm thinking it's quite interesting, but it's also pretty difficult, like what I have right now. I think it will be hard to balance this. And what I wanted to also say is, like, with these and these other obstacles, you can see it really clearly. Like, currently I'm thinking about how I can basically I'm more or less forced by the way everything worked out, and also by my abilities, to do a little bit more abstract game. But I don't want to be like just having, like, there are a lot of games. What they do is they basically are abstract somewhat, but kind of are not. Like, for example, Thomas Was Alone. Don't get me wrong, I really like Thomas Was Alone. I think it's a great game, but the abstract nature of the game is not really, like, it could just as well have been animated with big and small guys. Like, there would not be a huge difference. It's just with blocks, because I think that's what he could do. And while it's fine, it's not really what I want to do. I want to see if I can find out what makes abstract games, or what is the benefit of abstract games, let's say that. And, like, what I found out is, like, first of all, you obviously are not as limited as you would be in a normal world, which the entire game concept already would not really work, because it's like, it doesn't really make sense. Like, I don't know what you could be, if I don't know, Firefly, but then all the moving parts and all the obstacles in there, they are really weird. So I don't think you could do it in a real world setting easily. And latest, if you come to input blocking stuff, it gets really weird. Like, you could do like some knockback and stuff, but like it would basically get unbelievable, and you would lose. The good things about not abstract games, which is immersion. I think in a non-abstract game, the immersion level can be a lot higher, because you can identify with the character, and it really sucks you more in. But the benefit of abstract games is that the amount of freedom it gives you can, for one, let you do things that you couldn't do, and on the other hand, you can do more complex stuff, like I'm doing here. Like, areas like this, or also the force that we have had before, where it's going more up. Why is it not? No. This particular effect, or this obstacle. These stuff would not be possible in a normal game, not because like you cannot find reasons for that. Maybe you could, but conveying it to the player in a way that makes sense to him would be really hard, because you would need to kind of have something that mimics the effect of what you're thinking about. What I can do, though, is I can just give the players basically clues or signs that tell him what to do, which I'm doing right now. I'm doing it here with the A and the up. I'm doing it here with the A that is crossed, or the stop sign, or I don't know how to call this. But basically, that's what I'm currently thinking about, is how can I take mechanics that would be too complex or too foreign, let's say, and put them into my game. So that I'm not just another game that basically would be better if it just had animation. Like, Thomas Was Alone was a great game, but it would arguably have been better if there would be nice effects and everything. Like, I'm not saying it has to have it, but like, it would probably make it just feel a little bit better. That's not a, like, I'm not. Maybe I should take another example, because I really like Thomas Was Alone, but I probably only talk about games I like, because I would not trash any other developer. Anyway, so but like I said, I think it's a really important difference for me, is to not only have an abstract game, because I cannot do anything else, but also see where are the benefits. How can I basically enhance the experience by going abstract? So basically everything, as they say, everything has benefits and what backdraws, or I don't know how to call it, deficits, I guess. Yeah, deficits. So what are the benefits for abstract game design? That's what really goes around my mind, and like the mechanics as well that I'm doing would be hard to explain. Like basically everything I'm really trying to nail something that for one is really unique, which is also easier by the way in an abstract game because you are not bound by anything. You can do everything you want. There's literally there's no there's no restrictions here because like I can just imagine any system and do it, and like nobody can argue with it because it's an abstract game. It's just a game that has rules, and the rules are invented. So this makes it both more interesting but also harder because if the sky is the limit, you can do everything, and so you have to test more stuff out. Like this input blocking. Like I said before, I don't like the art on this yet. Like I'm not a good artist. I will have to think about this because like my goal from the beginning was um not to use any art outside that I can do because I didn't want to get into the entire stuff where I have to hire people because I'm doing this just part time, and or take Unity assets, which is by the way I think a completely fine way of doing things. It just would need a lot of time and a lot of effort to do this, and not that much money, but you probably still would need to hire someone to have it really feeling cohesive, everything in the end. So I wanted to do everything myself, including the art. So I have to check what I can do to make this look a little bit prettier. The next thing is I cannot do white. I wanted to do all the things in white, which I think looked fine. But the problem is with the particle effects. If they are under a white underground, it actually looks kind of ugly. So yeah, there's that. So anyway, this episode I think is going to be pretty short, which I think is fine. I will still continue doing this on a weekly basis. I think because yeah, because I think it's good to let you guys know what I've been up to, my thoughts and everything. But like this week, there's not that much to talk about inside the game. But like I'm always thinking about the game and what I can do different, thinking about game design. Maybe I read something or I listen to another podcast. Or, yeah, this is not a podcast, but I listen to a podcast where I listen a lot to, and maybe I will grab a topic and talk about it. Anyway, so I think that's almost it for today. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Let me just quickly check this. Yeah. Um, I remember now. So what you saw when I used this obstacle while playing, I used the time warp back to try the obstacle multiple times. So currently my thinking, which might change, I'm not sure, is to use the time warp not only as a way to avoid or jump over things like teleportation stuff, basically, which I think is neat. Like the obstacle I have where you have to teleport back. It's a neat little puzzle. Like it's fine. It's not very complicated. It has a little bit of skill involved, but not that much. And it's a fine obstacle to have. Like, but there's you can have with switches you can have an entire mechanics around those. Like, but I'm not sure if I want those. I still need to check if that's something I'm interested in. There's so many ideas that I have currently. Like even like maybe something is following you all the time, or there's some kind of timer, so you're under time pressure. Um, where I'm really happy with the mechanics is basically this one here. I think is really good. Like first I thought it's not great, but I think I can do a lot of stuff with this, which is interesting in a very new way that people are not used to. This stuff here feels kind of cool, but I'm not 100% on this because it's a little bit it's a little bit exhausting. I don't know. Like it's interesting to have to do that over and over again. I'm pretty sure I will not have two like this here in one level because I think these are the most difficult obstacles. And by difficult, I don't mean like yeah. Actually, yes, I mean execution-wise because this obstacle here is not really that hard execution-wise. It's a little bit hard, but it's not greatly hard. Um, but this obstacle, um, as you said, saw, I mean, it's currently really hard. Like it's not easy to get through here, and you really need to jump back. That's what I was talking about before. So basically, what I want to do is I want to always jump back before the obstacle, which is kind of the idea I have right now. Like currently, I having it implemented as a time thing, which could be fine. I'm just not sure about how I'm going to work on the warp back. I'm currently thinking about maybe doing it like almost as checkpoints. Like you press the button and you spawn back to your checkpoint and you move. You still move the same. I'm not sure. Like currently, I think it's okay. I need to play a little bit more with the new settings I have for the time warp because I basically increased the time that it jumps back, and I also um, so what I'm doing with the time warp is when I'm, let's say I would be flying here right now, yes? So I would start here, fly here, and here I would find out that it's bad. And like this is exactly, I think it's 2 seconds that it's jumping back now. This is exactly 2 seconds ago. So I press the button, I jump back 2 seconds, and when I'm starting flying again, and I would press the button again, it will not let me jump back. Because that's I didn't want to have a situation where I would basically always jump back to the exact same point by pressing the button over and over again. I didn't like that idea as much, and it would also like kind of make my life would make the player feel really weird because like say you go here, then you jump back in time, then you start flying to here, and then you press the button again. What would happen is because let's say you moved at the exact same speed, you would not move at all, like, or like a little bit around here, because like 2 seconds ago you were here. So, but what I'm doing instead is once I press the button, I'm basically emptying all the locations I had, and I start collecting new locations, because basically you break the timeline, jump back in time, and then you create a new timeline, and from here on out, everything is new. I could also jump back even further, but I didn't really want that. But maybe that would actually solve my problem, like having it go back to here, and then taking the last 5 seconds from here again. Which is actually kind of interesting. Like right now that I'm thinking about this might be a good way to do it. Like let me just write this quickly down. Uh, as I'm doing this stuff, talking about it, like sometimes there are some ideas and I want to write them down most of the time very quickly because then they are out of my head and that's just a good thing. So yeah, by the way, I'm using Google Drive, but I think you already saw that, right? Um, this, by the way, was not planned, so just so you know, but I think already you already guessed. We'll go to Wisp mechanics. I'm not really keeping track of this document a lot. Like I just use it from time to time. But I'm not really looking into it like a lot, like because I have so much work left. But it might be interesting to look at it again, just so to see now where I'm at right now. Time warp um, could remember the time from before it jumped to and jump back even further on pressing again. Jump back to 1 second, press again would then or 2 before first press. Yes. So yeah, I just want to write it down, but maybe I can go through this quickly. So I'm doing dashing with Y, the braking I do currently with B, and then there is teleport back in time I'm doing with X. Zoom in, more accurate control is now basically braking as that now. Yeah. So basically, you saw that already. You know it. Like if I'm braking, I'm zooming in a little bit, which by the way is really cool. what I will do now, I hope it will not crash. If it crashes, I'm not going to try it again. But what I'm doing now is I will move the obstacle to the front here so I can show you something, because I think it's really cool to see. Let me just check where this is very quickly. Increase force. It should be here, yes. So brake and dash. That is this one. And this one go to the back here. And brake and dash a little bit further to here. Okay. So this is just for me to test stuff. And I hope this will not break now. But sometimes it breaks. Oh no, it's working fine. So okay. So the braking is zooming in a little bit, and I didn't really have a use case for it, but when I created this obstacle, it actually got really interesting, let's say. So if I'm, oh, it's a little bit laggy right now. That's not good. Okay, I hope this will now work. It will probably will not, but okay. So you see, I'm going in here, and now I'm not seeing that much. Yeah, but it's too laggy right now anyway. So, but I think you get the idea. Like, if once I'm in there, like I will go now in there a little bit faster. So you see, like I have way more oversight. Oh, bugged through that, nice. I have way more oversight over all things here, and that's fine. I mean, that's a good thing to have more oversight if you are moving faster. And once you're braking, you have more control, but you lose the amount you can see, basically. Yeah. Anyway, so as I said, these obstacles are really rough right now. They are probably too hard. Basically, a lot too hard, I think, in their current form. Anyway, so but I really like this obstacle because like it promotes the brake button, it promotes the dash button, and it also is a little, like, all of these are basically little riddles. Let's put them like that. Like, but like these are very easy to see. Like, you cannot do anything else. Like, once you go in there, you cannot move via A, so there's literally nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is fly in there, get down there, and the only way to get up is the dash button. There's no other way. You can only jump back in time, not forward. So that's that, and the brake button will not help you. So there's no more possibilities. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so I kind of like these as obstacles and a general idea. But anyway, yeah. So the brake stuff with the zooming in I have. Jump mechanic is bad. I can delete this. That's not really good. I tried it, but it sucks. Yeah, and this is like a little bit too much, I think, to go over now. Yeah, change gravity with round objects, which it's kind of like what I did here. By the way, what I also did, what you saw here already, but maybe I can show it in a different way. I will just delete this stuff right now. And because this doesn't really wait, I have to do it in this one, right? Yes. In this one, what I can do is the blink riddle spawn, which is bugging again. Why? I don't care. Like right now, I'm just doing it by hand. Oh, that's bad. I'm sorry. That should not have happened. I don't know why it's bugging right now, but anyway, I don't want to waste your time, so what I'm doing is just I'm placing it by hand now. This should work. I don't know why it's not working. Like, I have some problems with this level editor stuff. I'm using it to generate the levels and also to spawn the obstacles. But from time to time it's just a little bit buggy. I don't know. I don't really know why, but anyway, so I have placed this. And now I can, wait, let me just delete the other obstacles though, because it's lagging right now. Oh, wait, I can also just move myself to there. There you go. So I'm here. Anyway, so what I wanted to show you is I can do this even when lagging. What I also did is before, when I died, these things would stay in one place. And like what you saw it with the bigger ones, I'm not quite happy with that effect yet. But on this one, I think it looks kind of fine. Like if you collide in here, yeah, it's basically exploding the stuff away, which I think is kind of cool. It will obviously also work for this, so yeah. Everything's just basically getting blown away by the explosion. And it will also work on level endings. Like maybe I can show this also as well. Like on here. This here, I want to spawn a goal. And that's probably, wait, that's probably too far away, right? Yeah, I think so. And now Unity, oh no, it's behaving, that's good. Is it too far away? Yeah, it is. So, wait, I will just pull it a little bit closer, the goal. So, you can see what I mean, like the stuff is also getting pulled in by the end of game effect. That's also something I worked on this week. I already forgot, but I remembered now. As you see, everything gets dragged in and then it's just exploding out. In this case, what we had here, it was a little bit boring because it was like really straight to the obstacle was straight instead of like a little bit up. Like if I do it like this, it gets a little bit more complicated, more appealing effect, I think, but it's still fine. Like, so I'm quite happy with that kind of effect. Like I can do it with this, and then everything's blown out again. Yeah, so I have quite some stuff like that added, which is basically polish, which I probably do way too early. But for my own sake, I need to do it because it's, for one, it's like stuff that I really enjoy. And on the other hand, it's also it also helps me really understand how I'm going to handle some, or if I can use some stuff. Because like I had the problem here before that I didn't know, like it looked bad, and I didn't know how to do it. And maybe I'm just too much of a guy that wants to solve the problems right away. But yeah, so probably that's just the thing. Oh, and I moved the entire thing, so yeah. Anyway, I completely destroyed this level here. That's not a problem. Anyway, I'm really happy that you tuned in this week. Like I said, I will do this every week now, so I hope to see you next week. Tell your friends about this. Tell everyone basically. Join our Facebook group. Just search for Will Glow the Wisp on Facebook and you will find it. You can even search it on Google and you will find it. Like I have some Reddit stuff going on. I'm posting regular updates on Twitter. I have some indiedb stuff as well. But I have currently problems with indiedb videos, but that's beside the point. Any of those would be nice if somebody would like it, follow it, post comments. Everything you do would be really welcome. By the way, I'm thinking about doing a level editor. If you think that's a good idea, like I think it's really interesting to have a level editor in this game because basically everything you see here to the right, I really just do this quickly. Maybe I will talk about this a little bit more next week. Everything you see here could be part of the level editor, which is all the, like, I probably would need to change it a little bit, like I cannot just do it one-to-one, but like there's a lot of settings you can do which would not break the game in any way, and you can generate some really interesting effects there, and the obstacles you can create just via this I think is really, really, really cool. And so I could even extend this a little bit more to give you some other stuff you could do, like what I'm doing here with input blocks and all that stuff, or maybe letting you control which button presses interact and stuff like. But that would be a lot of work. Like in the end, it would be a lot of work. So I'm kind of interested in if you guys think it's a good idea, because I'm not sure. Like I said, it's a lot of work. I think it's cool and everything, but I want to hear your opinion, basically. Anyway, so once again, thanks for tuning in. Have a nice week, I guess, because this is Sunday, and until this is up, you probably listen to it on Monday earliest, or Sunday evening, I guess, depending on your time zone and everything. Anyway, so have a nice week, and goodbye.